This is 90.3 FM, KEXP in Seattle, heard around the world on the web at KEXP.org. We're about to get into some live music, man. I'm so incredibly excited to have this group all the way from Mexico DF. 60 Tigres, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
We're very happy to be here. We hope you like it. This is 60 Tigres.
Take it away.
Va a salir mejor.
The next song is called
This song is called Jineteando Al Toro.
Para Mayita.
Yes, live music here at KEXP. Joining us all the way from Mexico, Tigres. Sounds great.
Thanks a lot.
I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for inviting us. We are very glad to be here, and it's a very long way road, very long way trip, but we're very happy to be here.
We always watch the videos on YouTube, and
we love your job and your work
beautiful.
Is beautiful.
Well, thank you. You're actually, this is your first time in Seattle, correct?
Yes.
Right.
You're going to play Macefield Music Festival, which will already have happened when we air this. But it's great to see you on a mixed bill of Seattle stuff and other groups. just a great rock and roll group. And I'm so glad you came all the way. You're based in Mexico City, correct?
Yeah, we're based there, but I live in the north. I live
Okay.
in Monterrey, and the rest of the band live in Mexico City.
Gotcha. How did you get together in Monterrey or?
We get together in Mexico City. I travel all the time. It's
Okay.
kind of complicated because I have a kid, but I have to be traveling all the time, to play at least 3 times per month.
Was it like a 3-hour trip or something each way? Or?
12-hour.
It's 12-hour trip from
Yeah.
Monterrey? Oh, because you drive.
Most of the times I take a bus, but right now we're trying to do by plane.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit expensive, but
It's much easier
it's
and
much
quicker.
easier and quicker and not exhaustive because it's very exhaustive.
Yeah, totally. Tell me a bit about how the group came together. It's been about 4 or 5 years now since you've been making music?
Yeah, actually more. The band has more like 8 years,
Okay.
but the members have been changing a lot. And actually, right now, the principal members, actually, the drummer, my cousin, and I invite Fernando and Pepino 3 years ago, and we've been changing a lot. And their other albums, for example, Emigrantes, bring us to Chicago and give us the opportunity to play in MySpace Festival in Chicago once. And then in the Congress Theater, we opened to Babasónicos, a Latin band, and we have opportunities with that album. And the other one, Garage, give us another songs that helps us a lot, but more in Mexico City. We're trying over there in Mexico City to invite the people to like rock music, because most of the people, not everybody, but I mean in Monterrey, for example, care about more like electronic or reggaeton music that is in fashion and everybody wants to dance that. And we're trying to invite people and promote our music.
With a message of peace and love.
Yeah, with a little message, actually.
And it seems like Mexico has been exploding with rock music, and people are getting more and more into it, would you say?
Yeah, actually, more yes. We hope that, and there are many bands over there that you have to listen. For example, Apollo, that is a great rock band over there, and Los Románticos de Zacatecas, Los Mundos. There are many bands, friends of us, and we've been playing together also. But it's difficult to stay in the music, and if you have needs, for example, if you have family, or if you want to get a house or a car or pay something, with music it's almost impossible over there. You cannot do it. You have to have another job. You have to have another thing.
Is that because there's a lack of gigs that you can do, or?
No, you have a lot of. You can create a lot of gigs. And the scene. Now I think is because you can do it if you're playing every day. You can do it, but not. It's not easy to pay a house, pay a rent, to pay. You cannot get that amount of money because you also have to invest this money to make the band developed. And so the thing is that we're trying the way we can continuously, and we're doing other things, but we also do music, and I think a lot of people in Mexico is doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talent, a lot of people who has great talent over there, and I don't know. I think
DF sounds like a real spot for art right now. There's a lot of bands, from Mexico City, but then a lot of bands seem to be migrating there from other places like Argentina or Chile, because there seems to be a scene there that's accepting different sounds, rock and electronica.
Yeah.
I was just in Colombia, and I talked to a few bands. They're like, yeah, we really want to move to Mexico City because it seems like a place where people are accepting and you can get gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, it's not common, like I tell you, in other towns, but in Mexico City, the people are getting interested more and more and more. Not only by the things like the fashion, I think the things that are in TV or on the radio constantly. I mean, and all the stuff, independent music, and it's great.
Did you guys get to tour around Mexico much? I know Monterrey is into alternative sounds and music, but other places in Mexico as well. There's a lot of festivals happening all over.
Guadalajara also is a great place.
Yeah, the festivals in Mexico, I think Vive Latino
Yes.
is one of the most important one, and Hello Fest, Pal Norte, Corona Capital.
Did you guys do Normal?
And Normal, yeah, we've been playing in those and all the just Vive Latino. We haven't.
You haven't done Vive
We
yet?
haven't been there.
Okay. I'm going to make that as a suggestion right here. You guys should do that next spring.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'd be a
Yeah, we
perfect
wanted
band.
to.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I don't know if I can make that happen, but I wish you. You're
I
playing.
hope.
Let's talk about the new record. You're playing new tracks off the new album, which is something you produced yourself. Was this the first time you did it all by yourself?
Yeah, actually, no. The other album, Animal, that album we made it by ourselves, and you can find 24 hours, 24 horas is another song that we have a lot of views in YouTube, and we made that album by ourselves also. But this album, Frenesí, we created by ourselves at home in Caparazon Records and DF, and it's our own studio, and we record the drums, for example, in one studio, professional studio, and then we bring these WAVs to create our songs, our style, the way we want to create it. And at the time we want to create it because sometimes it's very expensive. You cannot take all the time in the world
Yeah.
to create an album. So that's the way we create that. Frenesí. Frenesí means like
Frenzy.
the passion. Yeah, frenzy. It is the same meaning in English. Okay. The passion in life, I don't know. Yeah. I didn't know.
I think it means frenzy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the record. Did you have these songs together before you started getting in the studio? How does it work when you put it together?
Actually, it was kind of a poster service composition because I was in Monterrey. So they sent me, I don't know, the guitar, for example. Pepino sent me something, and then I start to work in the vocals and I start to write it. And then Fernando sent me another song, another idea, and then I record the basses. We work at long distance, but when we get together, we put everything in order, and that's the way we work.
Very cool. Once again, we're talking to Tigres. They have a brand new full length that came out this spring called Frenesí. Great record, and they're playing tracks for us live from the new disc. You want to play a couple more songs?
Of course.
Yes, of course. So this song is Jugoso, and it's for a friend. He's not here anymore. Keiko, this song is for you.
Keiko Treviño.
Jugoso.
De seguir sin caer, la enseñanza que no me queda bien para no repetir lo mismo de siempre. Vuelvo a caer, todo se resbala como práctico. Hay un traidor muy inmenso, no sé bien qué pasó, sigo aquí sádico y de paso. Toma tu riesgo glorioso, luego se te acaba. Es de esperar, lo sé. Y ves si andas buscando algo jugoso. Me saldré de la ciudad, se me tiene que olvidar. no esperes más. Toma tu riesgo glorioso, luego se te acaba. Es de esperar, lo sé. Y ves si andas buscando algo jugoso. Me saldré de la ciudad, se me tiene que olvidar. 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 Se me tiene que olvidar.
Live music here at KEXP. 60 Tigres. Killing it. You got one more for us.
Ready? Ready?
There are more things in life than greed and money. Hay más calor de sol que sombras frívolas.
Nunca fui ingenuo en realidad.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.